What you say, what you do, we learning all from you. Good or bad behavior becomes our first teacher. Don't be confused by the things you choose. We learn it from you. When anger breaks a line, we absorb it every time. So parents, hear our view. We walking in your shoes. We walking in your shoes.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, folks. We're 20 minutes now before the 9 o'clock hour, and we're here. Have no fear. We're here on a Monday evening, another Monday night, and this evening is the Monday night show with DJ Hammer. And you would have heard me mention today, really, this morning on the morning's newscast that we were getting ready for a very special guest. The special guest is here, this evening, Brother Amin Gumbs. He's the son of our very own Alfred Algie Gumbs, and our brother Algie's son. He's a renowned music executive, someone who's into engineering. He's just one of those well-rounded musicians, instrumentalists as well. One of the finest I've heard in if the region, if not the world, really and truly. He's someone who blows the mind, really. And he's in Anguilla for a bit, and he will be our guest tonight. Is a fitting conversation to have as we approach Emancipation Day. Also, as we approach the Summer Festival as well, or Carnival. I know that that's a time of music and celebration, and this is a music man right here for sure. So we're about to have a very interesting conversation tonight. Of course, Algie himself as a well-known musician, producer, singer, performer all the way in Africa. You would have heard his stuff there. You heard the recordings here on Class FM as well. And this man you're seeing on the screen right here, Amin Gumbs, he has followed in those steps, and I dare say he may have gone beyond those as well. He's an international brother in a very big way. So I'll go across with my Anguillan brother, Amin Gumbs. Let me say, brother, pleasant good evening to you. First time meeting you, and first time having you in studio as well. Good evening to you. Welcome to Class FM Radio.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Now, let's get into it one time. Who is Amin Gumbs? And I mentioned it to the people here. I know you're Algie's son, but a bit about your background. Who is Amin Gumbs? Tell me a bit about Amin.
Well, I'm a multi-instrumentalist, mainly a drummer, bass player, also a music producer, and a composer. So I've written some works for smaller groups, my own quartet and trios, and of course, have done some things for orchestra, some compositions and things like that. So that's a short bio.
That's a short bio yes. Of who you were as a person. So I take it that you would have gone to school for these things as well, because Algie would have had a studio so many years ago. I recall Algie recording some of the biggest bands around there. You may have seen that stuff as a boy growing up as well, and that may have really activated that your passion and your interest in the music business as well, I'm sure.
Yes, well, from the time I knew myself, I was always attracted to the drumming.
Okay.
So around the house, I would empty out the salt containers and run a string through it, play it around the house with toothbrushes and things like that. So my sisters will always, of course, gather around and check it out. And I would always hear about my grandfather from the older people around, and he'd tell me he was a drummer. Even people I didn't know in the community, they would say, well, you're taking after your grandfather. So from the time I knew myself, I was definitely attracted to the drums.
Yeah. And speaking about your grandfather, George Gumbs, I grew up around here, and I would have been a little boy when he was around, really, but I heard the stories about him, and he drummed regularly. He was a household name around the area and across Anguilla for messages with the drums. He delivered messages across Anguilla using drum as his mode of communication. And he was a good drummer too, from what I heard, along with your grandmother, Mealy.
Yes, yeah,
Mealy used to have the drummer heard from my grandfather on her back, and George Gumbs would be beating the drum, and communicate with the people all the time. And it was very interesting to the point where, back in the day during the Revolution time, the BBC and other, media persons documented that stuff as well back in the day as well. So you're from that background, that pedigree. So
yes, definitely.
No wonder you love the drums. No wonder you're into that. Some things are just natural for you. That's for sure. That's for sure. So So let's speak a bit more about your composition. Now you said that you compose. I mean, I'm the classics too, so I guess you're into classics as well. You mentioned composing. You're instrumentalist, so you do quite a bit of that, I'm sure.
Yes, arranging and composing. Arranging and composing. So sometimes you take a already established work and you arrange it for a group and things like that. So I've done that, and also, of course, original compositions, and of course, working alongside my father as a producer for things that he has written as well.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so a producer, I got it. You're also a recording engineer, so a bit about that background too. I guess you would have picked that up hands-on, and you would have furthered that in school. I get the impression you would have been to school for lots of these things. That's the impression I got. You are a professional man.
Yes. I went to I studied at Berklee College of Music. Wow. That's where I got 1 year. I studied with a fantastic drummer called John Ramsey, who's gone on to write some books that are must read and studied in the profession. Then I transferred to Eastern Illinois University and studied with Johnny Lee Lane, who was actually a person who was in the Hall of Fame for percussion. So he had the largest percussion camp in the United States. So everybody from the top jazz artists to the people who were in the symphonies, the people who played on Michael Jackson records, and who played with Duke Ellington, they would come and they would gather around for a week and actually teach there. So I was able to attend that camp, and actually I taught one course there during the summer. And then finally I studied at Towson University under Dale Rauschenberg, and that's where I got my master's in percussion. All right, and that was where they afforded me a full scholarship there, and I was able to actually teach the students there and write music for their marching band and other ensembles.
Oh, wow. Quite an impressive, track record you have there, sir, and quite a bit of, stuff under your belt, really and truly. And so at this time, how do you use that stuff now? I suspect you travel the world, you play with various groups. How do you utilize all of this talent you have? This is a lot that you're walking around with under the belt.
Well, that just goes to being versatile and being able to be almost like a chameleon in different situations. So there's some situations where I'm the leader, where I am hiring musicians and booking things like that, and there's others where I'm a side person, where I'm actually hired to work with other people. So all of those have different skill sets that you have to meet, but the main thing is preparation and a certain amount of professionalism. I was talking to my father about consistency and reputation. Those two things would get you far. So how I'm using that as right now, I'm actually working on a piece for a children's orchestra in Albany, and that will be done probably next week for them to perform for their summer program. And then there are certain performances that are coming up that I have to prepare for and things like that. So the education comes in, but there's also on top of that, you have to be able to put the things you learn into practice on a consistent basis. Yes.
All right, consistency. That's a word that I would have heard over the years from the older folks. My grandfather and those people always said, "Yes, whatever you're doing today, you must be able to do tomorrow morning." It's sure very consistent. So that is the word that it is right there for you, right there. So the most of your work, though, it happens on the mainland USA, that you travel the world with this stuff, because I mean that type of education, you just can't be in a circle. You must be out there somewhere.
Yes, well, there is where I'm located. I'm in Maryland, and there's a lot of work to be done in that corridor, because you have DC, you have all the way up. You can go up through Delaware, Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York, and all of those surrounding areas. So I do a lot of work in those areas.
So the name Amin Gumbs is well known across that area and across North America as a professional musician, someone who does all that stuff there, right?
Yes, this is a name that you can definitely call on if you want service rendered. Yes.
Right. So your offer service again, just for clarity for person, because this is the area that I know we know about bands that are going to be playing a keyboard, we play bass, we get on the band, we create something. But what you offer is a service. You're a professional percussionist, a drummer. So you're drum for hire, basically, too. That's what you do.
Yes. And like I say, certain in for instance, in a classical area, I might be called on to play, orchestra, timpani, or other percussion instruments that you won't find in a regular ensemble. Okay. So you won't find it wouldn't be a drum set scenario. It might be marimba, xylophone, certain snare drums, different types of percussion instruments that you have. But the education that I've had with Rauschenberg and Johnny Lee Lane has enabled me to be well equipped and prepared for those situations.
Now, how have your father's work? Because I mean, you would have seen that work over the years. Algie have done many projects. He have been to Africa. He's been moving around as an artist as well. How have his work really? I mean, I know what you might just tell me, but maybe rhetorical. But I'll say then actually in a way, how have that work really impacted your life and your vision and the way how you do things right now?
Well, he has a certain standard that has been imprinted in my mind. So when I'm approaching music, there's only certain things I deal with, insofar as a professional level. So I've been very fortunate to attend concerts with him and have him talk about what we've heard. Because I might, when you're young, you're impressionable. Yes. Right. So everything is the greatest. And then he might talk and say, listen, this is what was happening on stage. This is what could have been better. This is what should have been done. And so I've grown up with that standard, and that has helped me tremendously.
And if you were to talk quickly about the studio days, because again, I know jam band, back in the day growing up on, as a young broadcaster, you would have heard that those bands used to record at, at Algie's studio down here. And I'm sure you was around those days as
Third
well.
Ball, yes.
Yeah. A bit about those days and how those days helped to really, cement your view that this is what you're going to do.
Well, I was afforded the opportunity, I think when I was 12 or 13, to actually work in the record store. And behind, like in the back of the record store, was where the studio that my father built. So, in the summers. So, I was the young fellow who was taking the pocket of cash to the bank and deposited it, walking to the bank. It sounds crazy now, but walking all the way to the bank and depositing it. Yes. And I was able to hear all types of music. So, I was exposed to all type of music in that environment because we played, of course, the local music, and then there was Sam Cooke, and there were other top 40 things that I was hearing at the time. And then in the back, like I said, having access to equipment, it's a new world. As a young person, you had access to equipment and seeing how things were made, because you hear things on the radio, but you don't understand the process unless you see it. unless you see it. So getting exposure to that was very helpful.
And I believe that's to be the case, yes, because and you heard on the radio, but when it's laid down, it's just raw tracks. You have to get it together, and that's, and most people will not see that. I hear those things. No, no, they will not. So, in terms of the music, what you're doing now, sir, and where do you see it heading? Because I mean, we have seen evolution of music, even around here in the Caribbean. It has evolved a whole lot. We have seen, how reggae has changed, and we have seen how dance hall has changed. Even the American R&B has changed. All those things have changed. The classics, all this stuff, they have their variations too. And how do you see? Where are we in terms of the music evolution?
I think right now you have to be a performer. Because at one time you just toured to promote your work, your newest album, your newest release. But I think right now you have to tour as a way of actually sustaining your career. So the people who are actually good at performing their material live and things like that, those are the ones who you see are probably going to be a little bit more successful than the others. I think have to be a kind of return to the songwriting craft, because I think people are a little bit careless when it comes to that now. So just a little bit more attention to the actual craft of songwriting. Yes, just try and make something classic that's gonna be around.
Timeless music, timeless stuff.
It's a challenge between being trendy and being the current thing, but I think you could find that balance of being the current thing and also putting out work that is lasting.
Yep. And right now, you read about that now. It's more about what is quick, what is trending, and then you move along from there. You make it quick and you move along there. And even the card structures have changed a whole lot. Now, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 card, 1, 2. Back in the day, you run a heap of cards on a song. But right now, you got 1, 2 cards in there, like almost like Chinese food. Just quickly turn it out, and it's right there. It's right there for you. All right. So you are an Anguillan. You have, of course, Algie and your dear mom, God rest her soul. And so let's speak a bit about Anguilla, though. And you've been coming to Anguilla. Do you perform when you come here sometimes? Do you perform at all at times with your relatives, your cousins, your friends when you're in Anguilla? Because I mean, you have a couple of family members who have bands and have restaurants and all this stuff, just setups. Do you perform around here?
Last night I actually performed with Banky.
Oh man,
yeah,
the legend.
Yes, last night he saw me in the audience. He called me up and I finished the set with him. So that was a real good. That was actually a real good time. Most of the time when I came here, it's family time, and it's my I've been playing so much. I'm like, I just want to get away and just get with the family and just have a good time, enjoy the food and relax. And so I was not really looking for opportunities, but I wasn't gonna turn that down. That was actually a lot of fun. But I would have no problem like coming back and definitely doing some things locally. That's never an issue. I love that.
All right.
Especially if I'm here for an extended period of time where I can do the family thing and also have time for that.
Like last night would have been a good night for you at Banky's, yes, at the Dune Preserve, Sunday night, usually a good night, and the band is there, drum set is there, Banky's performing, and you go up there. I
didn't even have to move anything. I just had to walk up, walk up on stage and have a good time.
Have a good time for sure. And Anguilla, though, what it means to you? I mean, of course, I know that she lives in Thomas, you live in the USA, but I've come to realize that Algie and his wife, kids, you all seem to love Anguilla, frequent here. Here's home to you, it seems to me.
Man, I just remember growing up.
Yes.
I looked forward to it every summer.
Yeah.
I said, just get me to my 2 weeks where I'm going to come up here.
Yes.
And at the time, we would stay with my mother's grandmother between different houses because it was myself and a lot of our cousins. We just planned to come up at the same time. And I had another fantastic cousin, Ruben Rogers, amazing world-class bass player. We would all come up at the same time. And
Ruben Rogers, that's your...
Yes.
The jazz specialist?
Yeah. That's
your family?
Yeah.
Ruben performed at the jazz festival many years. Impressive. We may have a flyer, Ruben.
If it is, I'll take a picture and send it to him. I was just on the phone telling him that I was going to be here for a week because he was here maybe 2 weeks ago.
Ruben Rogers.
He was here like 3 weeks ago. Yeah,
Ruben Rogers the guy's serious. I recall him being here with the jazz festival.
He's
a top notch.
He's world class. But that's how we came up. So I'm trying to get here with him at the same time, but our schedules doesn't allow it.
Wow.
Yeah, so we used to come at the same time. All of us come together to spend here for 2 weeks.
Another guy told him, Honor J.
Allen, yes.
Yeah.
I contacted him.
Yeah, you know him too?
Yeah, we call ourselves cousins.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal pianist.
Yeah.
Phenomenal pianist. So I met him. Actually, I just met him online, and we just go back and forth and talk and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, phenomenal.
He and the same Ruben Rogers, those guys perform here many times with the jazz and around the region. They played some serious stuff around here. Wow, okay, good. All right. But in Anguilla, though, the jazz genre, I mean, apart from John Olsen, the guys, who love it around here, it is, it's not as popular, but in St. Martin, it's very popular, I know for sure. But jazz, they were trying to develop a jazz, festival years ago. I heard it coming back now, though. It was called Anguilla Strength. It's one of the flyers.
Yes, and that's actually a great lineup right there.
That's Christian Scott and
Arturo Sandoval. Yes, he was just in Baltimore, I think, 2 months ago. Performing. Yes.
Yeah, but I realized that jazz is big business across the world. It's a huge business, actually.
Yeah,
that is for sure. All right, so you're a percussionist, and that's what you do, really, for the most part. And interesting though that there's work for percussionists across the world all the time.
Oh yes,
you're always busy.
Always busy, and because of my background, I can do the classical. I can do the contemporary R&B things, and I can do, if you know, I could do the reggae and the Caribbean thing.
Yes.
So I'm versatile enough to always be able to find work, fortunately. But yeah, percussion. Johnny Lee Lane at Eastern Illinois University, where I went to, he wanted to make sure that you were not just a percussionist, but a percussionist who could work. So he very much concentrated and preparing you for things like that. So I was very fortunate to study underneath them.
All right, you're getting that. Okay, so what about vocals though? Have you tried? I mean, because Algie is a great singer, and I mean, have you tried your, the vocal stuff? Have you? Yeah, you sing?
No,
Nothing?
I don't do it. I mean, I can arrange it. You know, I could arrange it definitely and things like that. But that's not what my strength is. Let's put it that way. That's not my strength.
That's not your strength. That is not your strength at all.
I respect vocalists so much that I allow them to do what they do well. You know, because if I'm singing, somebody is not, and I could always find somebody amazing to sing.
All right, okay. So again, though, just for listeners who are coming in right now, and among the greats you've played with, I mean, I heard you mention Robin Rogers. I know he's a great for sure, and those guys are powerful people. Among the other greats you would have performed alongside, and in North America.
There's one guy named Obasi Akoto, phenomenal bass player. He was the last bass player who played with Elvin Jones, and Elvin Jones was the last drummer of one of the drummers of John Coltrane, the Hall of Fame, of course, legendary saxophonist, which we are celebrating is Miles Davis and John Coltrane's. They would have been 100 years old.
Miles Davis, huh?
Yeah, they would have been 100 years old this year. So we've been doing a lot of celebration and doing works and things like that. I did a performance with him where we had a dance company and jazz combined to tell the story of the history of jazz, but really concentrating on those two artists, Miles Davis and John Coltrane. So his name is Obasi Akoto, phenomenal bass player. And he does he writes orchestral works too. He's one person that I've gone to and have him looked at some of the stuff and pick his brains and things like that about things that I'm working on. So that's definitely one person. And another person who I don't know if you know, but I think he's one of the most phenomenal steel drum players in the world is Victor Provost.
Oh yeah, I heard of him.
Yes, that's a close friend of mine who I whenever I can, I hire him to perform with me. If he's not on the road performing someplace else, definitely Victor Provost. And there's other people who there was this one lady, Beretta Mercer. She's a Baltimore legend. They call her the Patti LaBelle of Baltimore. She passed away, but a phenomenal artist. Every time you see her, it was just like an experience. Some artists give you experience. Some artists just you'd sing for you. Some artists give you experience. She was one of those who gave you actual experience. When she performed.
When she performs. Now, for youngsters though, persons who youngsters who are hearing us right now, viewing us right now as well, and who aspire to be great, because our youngsters into music. I have a son, and he went to school as a broadcaster. He did a minor in music. Those guys love to record and all that stuff, and I'm sure they're locked in now. That's what those guys do. For youngsters who really want to pursue a career in music and have the passion for it, and really wish to go forward, to climb the ladders. I mean, what kind of advice would you have for those youngsters out there? Those guys who are trying. I mean, they're doing it. They're every day writing and they're trying to produce something for somebody.
Well, I think it depends on what lane they're in. If you're, I'll just say, let me just grab an instrument. If you're a saxophonist or something like that, okay? If you're a saxophonist, you get a chance to lead your own band or be hired as one of the first instrumentalists. But I have conversations with people who play other instruments like flute or guitar and things like that. I let them know you have to lead your own group, because if we taking somebody on tour and it's a quartet or it's a trio, you're not going to be the first person they call. It'll be piano, bass, drums, maybe saxophone or trumpet, and they're going to get to you later.
Yeah.
So I said certain instruments you want to be able to lead your own group. And if you're leading your own group, I always advise people to start doing your own compositions. You know, just to start writing your own music. Doesn't have to be any, just take the baby steps. You know, start writing your own music and then start learning a little bit about the business insofar as how to talk to venues, owners, and different things like that. And then you have to have your networking. There's a saying that says your net worth is your network, or your network is your net worth. So the amount of people you know in certain places, all right, those are the ones who are going to actually give you the lanes for you to be put in the places to be successful. But you have to be ready. You have to be ready when they call you, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you right now, people reputations are on the line. So even if they know, they won't put you in that position unless they think you're ready.
Yeah, because you make me look bad. Yeah, you have to come true for me.
And then that has to be that. That also has to do with your professionalism. Are you on time? Do you come prepared? All right, is everything accounted for? Because I've had people who have hired people. I've hired somebody, and then they say, "Listen, something came up. Can I give you a sub?" I say, "No problem. I trust you." And if the sub doesn't work out, that person doesn't have a lot of time, like with me. That's on a list now that I'm saying.
Yeah, I can't trust this guy to deliver for me, man. I have to be careful here. It's a natural thing.
Yes. So that's the advice. Be prepared. Try to master your craft, and then start networking and getting as many situations as possible where you can actually like showcase your talent. And then there's a saying that your gift will make room for you.
Yeah.
And that's true. You know, if people hear you, they like what they hear, they're going to find a room for you. When I was in Baltimore, I just went to one spot and I sat in, and this bass player said, "Oh my goodness, I love what you sound like. I'm going to get you some work." And you never take that seriously. No. But he called. He called, and from there I can trace everything that happened from there. You know, he liked what he heard.
Yes.
I was ready when he called, and when he put me in certain situations, I handled my obligations. So that's what I say.
That's the Anguillan way, for the most part. When you're calling, you know what is so strange about Anguillan, our people? Whenever we are out of Anguilla doing, it's the most out of Anguilla, and we are on the world stage, and you place an Anguillan in a situation where you have to deliver he or she, they always come too strong. I've observed that for years now. In Europe, in America, and anywhere you place Anguillans. Once they're in those positions, they come through for you, and they're passed with flying colors. It's something about the Anguillan DNA that shows up. When they're in Anguilla, they're relaxed, though, very relaxed. But not outside of Anguilla, most of them they show up for you. And then they show up strong. There's one guy though in the Caribbean that I believe would have done what you mentioned a while ago. Their network and the work is very into it big time. Dean Fraser. Yeah. Dean has a saxophone, but Dean Fraser is a man who's he's networked into the entire system. That's what he does, saxophone, and he lives by that. He travels the world.
Well, he's well known and respected, definitely.
Man on a saxophone, and he goes everywhere. Dean Fraser, networked his way through. He's good at what he does with the saxophone as well, and so you're about that. It's who you know. It's who you know.
Yes, definitely. If you could be the greatest person, if not anybody knows you, you're just at home. You're just a great instrumentalist or singer at home.
Yeah, and then there's Monty too. Monty Alexander, those guys. Those guys are some phenomenal guys all the other time. We're able to have that. So youngsters, you're hearing this, other folks out there, and this is an Anguillan brother, and he's Algie's son, Algie, or brother Algie, Mr. Gumbs, Algie, your partner Algie, and his son, Amin. He's an international, musician, percussionist, you name it, and he's well-rounded. Do you still dabble with engineering? Because I know for sure that you know that stuff very well. You know how to bring it down. I know for sure you understand those things. The mixing, mastering, that's what you did for a lot of years too. You still dabble with that stuff sometimes?
I do the production. I have been fortunate, especially with my father, to be able to turn those over to Carl Peterson and Stanley.
Carl Peterson.
Yeah.
Big names.
Yeah. So when I produce the music and I say, guys, you mix it. Okay. Because what happens is when if you're doing both, it's a mixture of because engineering is actually a science. So it's a mixture of creativity, and then you have to do the science part of it. And I like to just do the creative part of it, get everything where I need it to be, and send it all. And those guys are wonder workers. Those guys are wonder workers. But I know enough of the engineering to get it exactly where. And I set up the sessions so those guys could just jump in and get to work. And get to work.
And that is important, folks. 10 minutes after 9 here in the evening time. So a bit about your travels, though. You mentioned that you're based in Atlanta. Do you travel around the world with the groups? Is it just in North America?
Most of the stuff I'm doing right now, it's in the in that corridor, And then sometimes I'm called to go to other places for work. And we just look over the contract. Is it something we want to do? Yes. We make sure it's something that we want to do. And a lot of times that's with my the R&B band that I work with. That's when we look over the contracts. Is it something we want to do? And if it is, we make that move. If it's not, we say, get somebody in your area to take care of these duties.
All right. So you do jazz, R&B. What do you do? The genres. You do jazz. You do R&B.
Right now I'm doing jazz, R&B. In a church, I actually play bass at an African church right now, in Maryland. And then the classical things as every once in a while, and that is through referral. I've done the Danville Symphony Orchestra when I was in Illinois. I did that, and then I did the Annapolis Symphony Orchestra. And what I would tell people is they give you maybe 4 rehearsals before you're on stage performing. Total. So
4 rehearsals.
4 rehearsals before you perform. So what happens? You go. When I performed, I performed the Mikado, which is a comic opera with the Annapolis Symphony Orchestra. We rehearsed with just the orchestra. The second rehearsal was with the orchestra and the cast. The third rehearsal was a walkthrough, and then basically we were doing the show. So, exactly. So a lot of people, when you go to the symphony, these are people who've been practicing over and over. A lot of times they get the music for the season, and that's stuff that they work on. Unless it's a commission piece, which means it's new.
Yes.
But if it's not a commission piece, a lot of times they expect you to do your homework. So I had to take the actual score of the whole music, sit down with it, and listen to it, and see what all the parts were doing, and then try and memorize these things, and then learn my parts too, and then knock it out when I get the chance. So you literally have maybe 3-4 rehearsals before you're on stage performing for the downbeat.
That's when you're professional, and you understand that stuff, and you read a sheet, so you know what it is. This is the sheet here. Here's my part, and I do my part, and that's how it will be, right? But that's not for the weekend. Now, this type of skill you have, though, I mean, is one that you can either use in those developed countries. Those skills cannot be used around here like that unless you're coming with a band from somewhere in North America to play jazz at a jazz festival or some classic concert somewhere. Those skills are like that, and which is cool because you can find a place where you can apply the craft. Really, in North America and that corridor, and I'm sure around the world as well. Do you dabble with any reggae genres at all in your work line of work?
When I first got to, I was telling my father, when I first got to Maryland, yes, I was working everywhere. You know what I mean? I got my feet wet. I was like, okay, any lane, let me just, like I said, the networking thing. So I worked with this one guy who he was a keyboardist for Culture for a while. It was actually a keyboards for Culture. And then there was an African artist I was working with, and his keyboardist was actually the horn arranger for Burning Spear for a minute. So I was doing like gigs with them, in different places. But I found my lane want to say my lane. I found something that was more comfortable, that was more consistent when I was doing jazz in Washington D.C.
Yeah.
At the time, there was a place called U Street, and they had just a bunch of venues, you know, where you could just work on your craft, or you could get hired, so you could see top of the world people who are off of tour, and you would just go and see them perform. And one place that closed down, I did something with an artist named Reginald Sinchi, and it's featured on the BBC. As a matter of fact, they came in and they shot us, and they did interviews and all that kind of stuff. So that was very that's the turn I took. So insofar as the reggae up there, not as much. Not as much.
Not much reggae, right?
No, no, not as much. When I come down, that's what I do it.
Yeah, in the Caribbean.
Yeah, when I come in the Caribbean, that's when I do it.
All right. So for sure, your father, I'm pretty sure, is very proud of the work you're doing, and the entire family. Because I mean, I've heard the name Amin for many years, and the work you would have done over the years. And Algie spoke to me about that in glowing terms, quite naturally. But I do know that the inspiration for you to push forward came from right there, because Algie has been in it for himself. A multi-instrumentalist as well. He played instruments, and I know that. You would have been at the house. You grew up in the house, so you too would have been seeing that stuff and being inspired by that in a big way.
Oh yes,
I'm sure that's how you got on this path for sure. By being around the music all the time.
And like I said, every when I would come home, he would sit down after work, make sure I practice for at least an hour.
Yeah.
So that's when I was in elementary school, even from back then.
Yeah.
And then he would have rehearsals in the house, so I would get a chance to actually, sit down and listen to the music being worked on. And the process before it even gets, you guys hear the record. I hear the process.
Oh, you hear the tracking.
Yeah, you get a process, man. That's the fun.
Track, and then open this track and guitar tracks and all these.
Yes, and see it come together.
Yeah.
So my father's an architect, and I was telling my sister, I said, the thing with architects is they have a vision before they put it on the paper, and then it comes together.
Yes.
And that's how he does the music as well.
Yeah, that's why G works for sure. He's an architect. All right. So, folks, just about 15 down after the 9 o'clock hour. That's our time here this evening. That's our time we're having here this evening. In terms of, Algie traveled to Africa as well. I'm not sure if you're well aware of those travels. He would have done many tours, really. Were you ever able to go on those tours with your father?
I was at school at the time.
At the time. Okay.
Yeah, I was at school.
Yeah. Okay. In those areas there. All right. So, my brother, us as a black people, and as we get to celebrate emancipation as well, that's what it means. I'm sure that you were taught that in the home as well. As a black man, Algie is a very conscious man. I know that for a fact. And the correlation between our music, what we play, and I'm sure the jazz, and you've done other stuff as well. The drum. You studied the drum. Did you ever get impression? And I heard this before, that the drum is actually the foundation of the black man. You heard that before?
I've heard things like that, and I've been fortunate. I had one teacher named Ibrahim Kamaro, and then I had another one named Eddie Bruce. Ibrahim Kamaro was from Senegal, and Eddie Bruce was from St. John, but he taught me the rhythms of Olatunji. And different African artists, and introduced me to, because I was straight jazz, and then he introduced me to Mongo Santa Maria and Giovanni Hidalgo, and a lot of the Latin percussionists who I've come to love. And you see how the music, the foundation of the music is the rhythm. And if you even talk to some jazz players, they would tell you that the rhythm of jazz, a lot of people don't talk about it, but it's very significant, and it separates each of the different subgenres of jazz, like bebop and swing and free and modern, just the way how the instruments are played and articulated. So they think of it in a very rhythmical terms. All right, but the foundation, I have same Obasi. He's always talking about what the cymbal is supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it's an antenna, and how it's supposed. Because with jazz, you you ride the cymbal and what it's supposed to do to the music.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, what it's supposed to do to the music.
Yes.
So it's something that very I teach students as well, and when I'm teaching them about the different hand techniques and different things like that, I always tell them, listen, this music was not. They play for a couple minutes and they're tired. They're tired. I'm like, no, this was the jukebox. These rhythms had to be played for a long time. All right, you know, for all the festivals and all the ceremonies and everything like that. That's what we had.
Yeah,
you know, we had the drum.
Oh yeah, the drum, and for hours for sure.
Yeah. So when Eddie Bruce used to say, now we say take a solo. Eddie Bruce never said that. Eddie Bruce used to say talk. So that means that you have to communicate through your instrument. He didn't say take a solo. He would say, you know, speak, say something.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a different concept. Yeah. Concept that he had when it came to rhythms.
Now, you mentioned that you're a percussionist. I know that that's what you do. And you also play bass as well. Do you play piano? Because Algie is a piano man too. Do you play piano?
I play piano to create. So when I'm composing, I'm in the studio. I definitely play piano. I don't play piano to go out professionally like that. Yeah, but if I'm sitting down, I'm learning music. Sometimes I just sit down and learn it on the piano. Even if I'm gonna play it on drums, sometimes learn it on the piano so I can hear exactly what's happening in the music.
The influence of your late mom, Nurse, you know, comes on your musical journey career as well. Because I mean, when you set out on these things, you know, your home, the father's there for sure, but mom advice and you know her support is very important, and that support, what it meant to you really from mom.
She was always supportive. So I remember writing a short piece of music. One of my first compositions for snare drum, a solo, and she made it sound like it looked like it was the biggest, best thing in the world. You know, so those are now. I needed that because my father was hard. You know, my father was the one that go back. You need to work some more. You know, So it was very nice to have that. That in the corner, and both of them actually did a great job because I had a drum set in my bedroom and I had a drum set in the living room sometimes.
Drum sets?
Yeah, just a drum, and I could play. I could play up until 9 o'clock.
Oh, hey.
Okay.
All the
noise. Nobody was saying stop, turn it down.
That's good.
I have parents who they don't even want a child playing the flute in the house. I said my father had me playing a drum set in the middle of the living room all day. With no problems.
And the drum set is noisy, loud, you know.
Yeah. My neighbors know about it too.
Yeah.
But now, what they tell you when you come back, man, it's so quiet around here.
Yeah, man. No,
it's so quiet around here.
They want to stay quiet. They want to remain quiet around here. So, well, you know, I would love to see you perform. But I'm not sure when you're leaving, but you know, I guess I believe most Anguillans would love to see that performance, and maybe when you return at some point, I'd love to do a recording of that performance. Performance, I think it's important that you get a live session with you somewhere, so you can see that for sure, for us to see what it is that you do. Speaking it here is one thing, but to see you in actual and in practical terms where you're performing, I'm sure most Anguillans want to see that for sure. We are proud people, we believe in our people, and we love when they're doing great things, that's for sure. We support them big time. I don't look some like everybody else in the world, but for the most part, Anguillans generally support the people when they're out there and they're making waves. So I'm proud of what you're doing.
Thank you.
You have found your niche, your area. That's very important, and may continue to grow in that area as you go from strength to strength. Again, you came from great pedigree, and you came from a stock of people who were great musicians. Your uncles, all those guys. I know your father, brothers, some of them great saxophonists. Just has into music. Aiken, Crispin, Aiken, a saxophone man. Aiken, and those guys, musicians in the name it. They all perform. You know, they all played the instruments. You know, and the drums. Your grandfather, George Gumbs, you name it. So it's a natural thing for you to be into, and to be able to live by it is also important.
Yes,
that's very good. You're able to create a professional career career and live by what you love. And when you do that stuff, everything seems like having fun. It doesn't feel like work to you. It's living your passion, right?
Yeah, a lot of times it is.
It doesn't feel like you're working.
Yeah, but sometimes with the preparation, it does. Because you have to maintain a certain level of facility and technique on your instrument. So that part is that's not the fun part. No. Where you have to make sure that you have that, so you could bring that to the bandstand or the stage. But when you actually get to perform with other great artists and with other great singers and things like that, that's great. Yeah, that's when it doesn't feel like work.
You feel like fun. Feel like fun then to you. Feel like fun to you. Okay. So I suspect that you also have a lot of pieces. For example, into percussion. So I suspect you personally have a lot of bits and pieces. A room somewhere with lots of things, right?
Yeah, I actually have like 3 drum sets. So I have like, let me see. I have like 3 drum sets. One small for jazz, one bigger for R&B, and then because if I go on a gig with my small jazz set to R&B, they're like, "What are you doing with those toys?" They want to see. They want to see the big drum set. So I have that, and then I have an electronic drum set, and then like in this my little home studio, I have like basses and the keyboard and stuff that I have around as well. But insofar as my working instruments, I have several basses, and then I have like 3 drum sets, but mainly 2 that I perform with.
Performing, yeah. I have a vision of a drum set, one that I saw with REO Speedwagon on tour. I mean, huge drum sets, REO Speedwagon. Those things like monsters, man. I mean, real monsters.
Those guys are what you call it, endorsed.
Yeah.
And they don't have to set it up and break it down.
No.
Yeah. So we have what we call roadies. So you set it up maybe one time, they measure it, and they know exactly how you want your stuff set up. So they have your stuff ready to go before the show starts. Some of them even sound check it for you. Because a lot of the people who call them road techs, a lot of the people who are drum techs, they are drummers as well.
Get drummers.
Yeah, so they could go and make sure everything is tuned correctly, and all you go is 2, 3, 4, and you start the show. But when you have all those drums and you got to put them in the back of your car and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's hard. The cymbal bag, a bag of cymbals.
You need like 3 or 4 cymbal bags for those guys.
And the heavy things too, I got to move them around. I'm aware of that. Electric drums though, you mentioned you have one of those sets. Back in the day, I recall, back in the 80s, 90s early, they came up and they were popular and then they went out. They're back now? I mean,
no, well, yeah. I don't have those.
Yeah.
I don't have those Simmons. The ones I have, you could actually play brushes on and sticks. So you could use it to trigger different sounds. Anytime you could like actual drum sounds, you could use it to trigger that. That's more like what I use it for, just to practice when nobody could hear me, like banging. But I don't use those drums often in a professional setting. I have my drum set, and for my R&B group, I have a sampler with maybe 9 pads that I run different percussion sounds in and different loops that I could trigger for whatever song I'm playing. And then for jazz, I don't bring that at all. Jazz is just jazz is just
acoustic
straight
systems.
Yeah, just acoustic alone. Yeah. So it's 2 different And another note, if you're doing that, you have to have the skill set to be able to either create your own loops or to chop them up and make sure that they sound right, the right volumes and things like that when you're playing in those environments. Because nobody's going to do it for you.
No. No one. No. You have to do your own thing. Okay, so it's quite obvious that you enjoy what you're doing, and that's important. Really, you live what you're doing, and that's where we are right now with that. And you also teach as well, so I'm sure that you're passing on knowledge to other youngsters, of course, in North America who will want to do their own thing.
The best thing is when you find a good student.
Yes.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
When somebody you could like actually pour into, and some of them are not even. They're not. Some of them aren't drummers. Some of them are other instrumentalists. But I don't mind mentoring them and try and work with them to get them where they need to go. And it might just be like, you sound great, but check this person out. If you're playing a saxophone, I might say, work on this. Playing trumpet, check this guy out, or this recording out, and things like that. I'll just get them in the different direction. But yeah, I do teach both privately and in school. those are the two things I do teach.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, and that's very, very important. So you are a well-rounded man, multi-talented, multifaceted. Everywhere you turn, you have it going on. So you're into music live performances, into producing as well, and you're into classroom too as well. So you're a well-rounded man for sure. Okay, so just about 29 minutes done after 9. We're gonna end it at 21 hour, and so I'm almost there with you now. But anything else you wish to share with us? I mean, because this is the area that I'm sure most Anguillans, this is like almost like different to us, but very impressed to hear what you're doing. Though very impressive. I'm just trying to flesh out as much as we can. What more can you share with me about the work you do? I mean, what else can you tell me about the work you do? I think we would have run a lot really in terms of this job and what you're doing out there. Is there anything else that you wish to share with me?
Right now we just finishing up projects. That's all I want to do. Yeah. So right now I'm trying to finish up the orchestral project I have for the summer, and then as soon as that's out of the way, I can kind of clear my palette, relax a little bit, and then go into some other creative endeavors. Because that one is just almost like a commission piece that I'm doing. After that, then I could get into my creative space and do what I feel like doing. So those are the things that are on the agenda right now for me, in the immediate future, I should say.
Yeah. So any albums we should expect? I know you mentioned your piece you're working on. Should we expect anything that's online, Spotify, those channels you will be on sale?
Right now, when I finish with this, I'm going to be working on my own own jazz project that I'll be working on. So that's what I'm be doing when I finish with this orchestral thing. I'm sitting down and just really fleshing out my ideas. I have stuff, pockets of things, but just bringing everything together.
Okay. So I guess you'll invite some of your best friends on board, like Mr. Rogers and those guys, and to perform as well.
Yeah. Just getting the logistics together because those guys are so busy.
Come back to what I say?
Rogers is not his friend.
Cousin?
They are first
First cousin, yes.
They raised up together.
Okay.
They played together.
Okay, good. Didn't know that.
Yeah. When I say Ruben Rogers, I'm talking about like this. Yeah, we come up together. As a matter of fact, we were playing in Church of God of Prophecy for years, and his mother had a mass choir that we both played in. Verona Rogers, yes. Yeah, so Rufus Rogers is his father, and that's my uncle. Okay. Yeah, so like we're not just like friends. We like we definitely grew up together like that.
Ruben made it big though. For somehow he made it big. I know him around BET as well.
No. Ruben was always fantastic, and he's always been had the personality for it. And I just remember going to when I went to Berkeley, he was there.
Oh yeah.
So he was there 1 year before me. When I went to Berkeley, he was there. And by the time I got there, everybody knew who he was.
Yeah.
Everybody knew who he was. He's always been a fantastic player, and right now I don't think you could tell the history of jazz from the 90s to where we are right now without him, because he's been on very important records.
Everywhere. I mean, no, but even some of the most prestigious jazz festivals, St. Lucia Jazz Festival, one of the finest in the world right now, he performed there too.
Yeah,
around the world on jazz festivals.
Yeah, whenever he comes in towns, he just let me know, and I I go and I check him out. We hang out usually before, after, spend a day. If he's in there for a couple of days, he did he came into town. He did a performance at the club that I was a house band drummer for. It's a jazz club, one of the best jazz clubs in Baltimore. He came, he performed there, and then the next day he did a studio session with the members that he were there. So I just hung up with him in studio session. The guy who gave him the bass for the studio session, because he didn't travel with the bass, was a guy named Herman Burney, who I perform with regularly in fantastic bass player as well in DC and Baltimore. Yeah. So we definitely.
I recall many years ago I spoke to him here. I covered some jazz events with him in Anguilla. He told me he has a relatives in Anguilla. He's an Anguillan. He bragged about that too. So his folks are here. Okay.
He's here all the time.
Good. All right. Okay, so folks, 27 now before 10. Brother Amin Gumbs, I want to thank you for coming in. I believe that this is a very important story to document, really, for people out there. It shows what can happen, what happens when you invest in people, children, and ideas. Your success and your development really, for the most part, is your desire and your willingness to pursue a dream. That's for sure. But also, and I'm sure you were inspired by your father, and your father was inspired by his father. And you see how life goes, and it goes all the way through. And now today, you are one of those international musicians because of that dream. So Judge Gumbs would have long gone, passed on, but his vision and what he would have started many years ago is continuing. Okay.
Most definitely.
You see that? Yeah, he was a drummer, big drum, kettle drums. Kettle drum, yeah, kettle drum. The big one. Yeah.
Go ahead, but
He heard it recorded.
Yeah. Okay, the kettle drums really, and now his grandson, is the now international acclaimed drum himself, expert himself, and to see that, and so that's how it is. So he would have passed on many years ago, but the legacy and the thing that he started is still continuing. That's important. That's how you build generations of strong people. And I believe over the years in Anguilla, we have missed some of that. But the Chinese, LG, have that, and the other Asians have that down pack. How you preserve the generations of strength, and even generations of wealth. That's what they do. They make sure to pass on knowledge to the youngsters. And us as a black people, for some reason, we haven't gotten it right. But in Algie's case, I am happy tonight to see that it has taken hold, and I'm sure you'll pass on some of that too. It's a relay race we're running like in life, and we'll keep on passing on knowledge, and you have a whole lot of it. And I'm really proud of you, bro. I'm proud of what you're doing. I'm sure that all Anguilla tonight is proud of hearing you and the work you are doing over there. So keep on keeping on, brother. I'll be checking in to see what's going on, and maybe I should get a video sometime from you, a live performance video or something to post. I want people to see in action. So if you have anything live in the way, like a video, short clip, something, snip somewhere,
I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Let me get it, and so we can also share that with our people out there. But sir, I want to thank you again, and I wish you all the best, bro. I really enjoyed this session. I have done thousands of sessions over the years, and there's some sessions that I really enjoy thoroughly, and this is one of them, really, to see how you're developed, really, and you're more than I thought, because I thought at first that you were a recording engineer. That's the impression I've gotten over the years, but I now know that you're a lot more than that. A man with a master's degree in percussions, and you're an engineer, you name it, you're everything in one. If you have anything, a professor too, you teach, you lecture, right, and you teach music as well over there in North America. So brother, keep up the good works, and keep on keeping on, man, and we'll be in touch.
Yes, definitely.
Okay?
Thank you.
Nice, man. All right?
All right.
Nice, nice, man. Thank you, man. Okay, good.
Thank you.
So Amin Gumbs, folks, and the son of LG, yes, and LG as a musician, his son is in that same vein, but this guy's gone a lot higher. He's now an international percussionist out there in the world, and he's doing big things out there for sure. He's an Angolan man as well. So to all the people out there, good evening to you, and of course I'm sure you enjoyed this session as much as I did as well. All right, so you hold the spot, man. Class FM here in the evening. That's it for our Monday night show as well. You can join us next week Monday, God's willing, around the same time. We're into our summer festival period now, so much of our hardcore conversations are going on, are slowing down for a bit. So next week Monday, God's willing, we'll have some, I'm sure, some more music and conversations, summer festival conversations for you as well, as we count down to summer festival. Of course, summer festival kicks off in earnest on the 29th of July. Right next door, the Atlanta Bowl Cultural Center. So good evening, folks. You just hold the spot you've got. Class FM here in the evening time.
What is really going on? Some putting the best outside. Shame to beg cause of our pride. If cost of living